What if one of the most powerful foods for your body is not expensive, not exotic, and not hidden inside a bottle of supplements, but growing quietly in the produce section? Most people think cancer begins overnight, but that is not how it usually works. It often starts with tiny problems inside the body that build over time. Chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, damaged cells, weakened detox pathways, and changes in the way genes behave. And one of the most dangerous parts is this: you usually cannot feel any of it happening at first. Now imagine a food that scientists have studied because it may help protect cells from DNA damage, help the body neutralize harmful compounds, reduce inflammation, and even interfere with some of the processes cancer cells use to survive. That food is found in cruciferous vegetables, especially broccoli sprouts, which are rich in a natural compound called sulforaphane. The National Cancer Institute notes that compounds from cruciferous vegetables may help protect cells from DNA damage, inactivate carcinogens, reduce inflammation, trigger cancer cell death, and even help block tumor blood vessel formation, though human studies overall are still mixed. So, in this video, we are going to break down what this food really does inside the body, why people are talking about DNA repair and cancer prevention, what the science actually says, and the mistakes people make when they hear claims that sound too good to be true. And stay with me until the end, because one of the biggest misunderstandings about anti-cancer foods could be putting people at risk without them even realizing it. Dois. Topic 1. Why DNA damage matters more than most people realize. Every second, your body is under attack from normal metabolism, pollution, smoke, processed food overload, excess sugar, chronic stress, and inflammation. All of these can create unstable molecules called free radicals. These molecules can damage cells, including your DNA, which is the instruction manual your body uses to keep cells functioning normally. When DNA damage builds up faster than the body can manage it, problems begin. Sometimes the damage is repaired, sometimes the cell dies, but sometimes the cell survives with harmful changes. And that is where long-term disease risk starts to rise. This is one reason researchers pay so much attention to foods that may support antioxidant defenses and detox pathways. According to the National Cancer Institute, compounds in cruciferous vegetables may help protect cells from DNA damage and help inactivate carcinogens before they cause more trouble. A 2022 study also found that higher intake of cruciferous vegetables was associated with lower levels of bulky DNA adducts, which are markers of DNA damage linked to cancer risk. Think of it like this: your DNA is the blueprint for the house. If the blueprint keeps getting smudged on and misread, the repairs become messy. Over time, the house stops working the way it should. Foods that help protect that blueprint matter more than most people think. And this is where broccoli sprouts enter the story in a very powerful way. The food behind the hype. Broccoli sprouts and sulforaphane broccoli sprouts are simply young broccoli plants, usually just a few days old. They may look small and harmless, but they are packed with compounds that get activated when the plant is chopped, chewed, or crushed. One of the best known is sulforaphane, a natural isothiocyanate derived from glucosinolates found in cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, and cauliflower. What makes broccoli sprouts especially interesting is that they can provide very high amounts of sulforaphane precursors compared with mature broccoli. That is why researchers and cancer centers keep discussing them when they talk about nutrition and keep. Sulforaphane has been studied for its ability to influence antioxidant defense systems, inflammation pathways, detox enzymes, cell cycle control, and apoptosis, which is the programmed death of damaged cells. But we need to be careful here. This does not mean broccoli sprouts cure cancer. That would be misleading. What it means is that the compounds in these foods may help create a body environment that is less favorable to damage and more supportive of healthy cellular control. That is a very different claim, and it is the honest one. From a practical standpoint, broccoli sprouts can be added to sandwiches, salads, wraps, or smoothies. A small handful a day is how many people use them as part of a healthy diet. The goal is not magic. The goal is consistent support. 4. Can this food really repair DNA? Here's the smarter way to say it. This is where many headlines go too far. A food does not act like a mechanic holding a wrench and repairing DNA in the dramatic way social media suggests. What foods can do, however, is help support the body's own protective systems that defend cells against damage and help regulate stress response pathways. The National Cancer Institute specifically states that cruciferous vegetables contain compounds that may help protect cells from DNA damage. Researchers studying sulforaphane describe it as a compound that can activate the NRF2 antioxidant response pathway, which turns on genes involved in detoxification and cellular defense. Some reviews also describe sulforaphane as an epigenetic modulator, meaning it may influence how certain genes are switched on or off, especially in abnormal cells. That is an important distinction. The better wording is, not this food repairs DNA instantly. The better wording is, this food may help the body protect cells from DNA damage and strengthen natural defense systems that reduce the conditions in which damage builds up. Picture a city after a storm. You do not just need people fixing broken windows, you also need traffic control, garbage removal, emergency signals, and better infrastructure so the next storm causes less destruction. Sulforaphane appears to support many of those city defense functions at the cellular level. That is why researchers keep taking it seriously. One practical tip: the way broccoli is prepared matters. Sulforaphane formation depends on an enzyme called myrosinase, and too much heat can reduce it. Light preparation and minimal overcooking help preserve more of the beneficial compounds. How it may help starve cancer. What that phrase really means? Now let us address the phrase that gets attention. Starve cancer. It sounds dramatic, but what does it really mean? Cancer cells often grow by hijacking the body's signaling systems. They thrive in environments rich in inflammation, growth signals, blood vessel formation, and metabolic chaos, according to the National Cancer Institute. Compounds in cruciferous vegetables may help induce apoptosis, reduce inflammation, inhibit tumor blood vessel formation, and limit tumor cell migration. Those are some of the mechanisms people are referring to when they use phrases like starve cancer. Sulforaphane has also been studied for affecting pathways related to cell cycle arrest, autophagy, histone destylase inhibition, and abnormal cell survival. In plain language, that means researchers are interested in how it may make it harder for unhealthy cells to keep multiplying normally. A recent review described sulforaphane as having multifaceted anti-cancer effects through several of these pathways, although much of the strongest evidence still comes from laboratory and preclinical work rather than definitive proof in humans. So, does this food starve cancer all by itself? No? That oversimplifies a very serious disease. But can it be part of an eating pattern that supports a less inflammatory, more protective internal environment and may interfere with processes cancer cells perform? Yes, that is a far more evidence-based way to understand it. This is exactly why nutrition matters. Not because food is a magic bullet, but because the body is always responding to what we feed it. 6. Topic 5. What human research says, and what it does not say here, is where we need honesty, because trust matters. Cell studies and animal studies on sulforaphane are exciting. They show many promising mechanisms. Human research is encouraging in some areas, but it is not strong enough to justify miracle claims. The National Cancer Institute is very clear that while the mechanisms look promising, human studies on cruciferous vegetables and cancer have shown mixed results overall. That said, human trials do exist. For example, a randomized phase 2 clinical trial reported that oral sulforaphane supplementation for 12 months significantly reduced the Ki-67 index, a marker related to cell proliferation in former smokers with bronchial dysplasia. That does not prove cancer was cured or prevented in everyone, but it does show why researchers are taking this compound seriously. This is the balanced takeaway your audience needs to hear. Broccoli sprouts and other cruciferous vegetables are not a replacement for medical care, screening, surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, or professional treatment, but they may absolutely be part of a smart prevention-focused lifestyle. That message is powerful because it is real. Food can help. Food can support. Food can reduce risk factors, but food should never be sold as a guaranteed cure. Sechi. So what is the big truth here? The food most often connected to these powerful claims is broccoli sprouts. Thanks to a compound called research suggests compounds from cruciferous vegetables may help protect cells from DNA damage, support detoxification, reduce inflammation, influence gene regulation, and interfere with some of the biological processes cancer cells depend on. But the science also tells us to stay grounded. This is promising nutrition research, not permission to ignore medical care. In other words, this is not about fear. It is about opportunity. Every day, your body is responding to what you eat. And sometimes, the foods that look the simplest carry the most fascinating potential. So the next time you see a tiny handful of broccoli sprouts, do not underestimate them. They may not look dramatic, but inside your body, they may be doing work most people never even think about. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who cares about prevention, longevity, and natural health. And in the comments, tell me this: have you ever eaten broccoli sprouts before, or would you add them to your daily routine after hearing this?